Hey everybody, I'm Jesse and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about conspiracy theorists. I've touched on the subject once or twice in earlier videos, but I thought I'd do an entire video on the subject because it bears repeating and it may actually help people. My opinion is that you've got all these conspiracy theorists on this one side, right? And they're coming up with all these weird, oddball theories. And they look crazy. Whether they're crazy or not, I have no idea. But they look nuts, right? To normal, average, working folk, these people look insane. And then over here, you have your people that just question the government and is trying to find out what the government is doing. Are they doing the cloud seeding or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff with the airplanes dumping chemicals into the clouds or whatever, with these new stripes we see in the sky now, which didn't exist before. What are these clouds in the sky and that kind of stuff, right? Or wondering what the government's doing. And that's completely different from flat Earth or birds are actually robots, and there's just tons of them that are just out there in left field. But what's happened today is that the mainstream media has combined the two, and then everybody just looks crazy. They're all conspiracy theorists, and they're all just nuts. So for the people who are questioning whether weather modification is a thing and whether our government has the power to do it, and I've seen videos where they've actually talked about it and talked about how they do it, what they've done, the government officials, how they used it in Vietnam and stuff. Okay, videos can be manipulated. I take everything with a grain of salt, whatever. But that is actually a sane person questioning, what our government is doing. But that is being lumped in with, all birds are robots. Though they're treated the same. They're thrown into the same bowl and mixed up in the same nut bowl, right? And I have a problem with that. To me, that... Now call me a conspiracy theorist if you want to, but that sounds like government psyops to me. Like they're actually putting out these nutty conspiracy theories to get people to buy into, just to make everybody sound nuts, sound crazy, that is actually questioning them, right? Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I tend to think that the whole nutty conspiracy theory, even if the original ideas weren't put out by the CIA or something, you know what I'm saying? They are promoted on social media. Those nutty ones are promoted on social media. I see that all the time. Facebook and all these places, they're promoted. They could be tamped down, like all the other malinformation and misinformation, right? That they're supposed to be protecting us from. But this weird nutty stuff is promoted if you pay attention. Why isn't that tamped down? Why do I constantly see all this stuff about the mechanical birds and the flat earth and the this and the that? Now, another thing about conspiracy theorists is that a lot of them are out there to make money, right? They're not out there to actually educate the population. They're not. If you're running around putting an antenna up a bird's ass and taking a picture of it and trying to convince people that birds are actually robots, you're not out there. You're not trying to help people. You're not trying to educate people and open people's eyes. You're muddling the waters. You're trying to make money, get clicks, get likes, whatever, get people to buy your shit, whatever it is you're doing. That's the complete opposite of being helpful. That's greed. That's I almost said misinformation, but I don't. That's spreading bullshit, confusing things, making real people who question real things, making them look bad with your bullshit. And so really pay attention to that stuff before you buy into it. Because I'm not pointing fingers at anybody who buy into that stuff, because we're all susceptible to it. I've looked at that stuff and wow, holy crap. And then I realize, but you gotta take it a couple steps further and do a little research before you start sending them money. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's got an agenda. Look for their agenda. Now, is it possible that the government has made some mechanical birds that look lifelike and are flying around using them as spy? Yeah, of course. That's possible, I guess. I'm not going to argue that. But to say that all birds are mechanical and they're all spying on us, and to be frightened of every pigeon or dove you see, that's just going too far. And why the hell would they waste all the money coming up with these mechanical birds when I'm carrying my cell phone around with me constantly that's recording everything I say, every bit of video and audio that it can capture, it's capturing and storing for the government's needs. So why the hell would they even need to do that crap? They've got us doing it for them. They've got us paying to do it. So you gotta think around the whole box here and realize what's going on. Some people get so deep into this stuff that they will vehemently defend these weird positions that you can just, obviously, with a little bit of common sense, just dismiss completely. And a little bit of life experience. Okay, I've experienced this. What you're saying is impossible because of my life experience. I've actually done things on the earth that prove that what you're saying is complete bullshit. But that doesn't faze them at all. So you gotta take stuff with a grain of salt and look at people's motives, because that stuff, I believe, is, if not being created, it's being promoted to make normal thinking people look crazy. And even think of ourselves as crazy, because you see all that stuff together at the same time, right? All conspiracy theories are in the same bowl of nuts. You see a guy talking about some crazy stuff and a guy talking about some common sense stuff. Well, it kind of makes the common sense stuff seem kind of crazy just because Alex Jones said it or whatever, which is something that he's guilty of sometimes. He'll go off on these weird things that I just can't, But I watch Alex Jones once in a while. He says some good stuff, but he also says some wackadoodle stuff that I just can't. So my advice is to just pay attention when you're dealing with these conspiracy theories, and don't give them a whole lot of attention until you've done your research. And I mean some real research, right? You've got to look into it for yourself, not just read what they've said. Because once you realize that everything you know, almost everything you know, is just something someone else has told you that you've memorized. Most of our knowledge, that's what it is. So you've got to do a little bit more digging around to find out whether this subject is worth your attention and your money. Because a lot of these people are just clickbait crap that are basically stealing from you. They're selling you lies, and it's BS, right? All this weird stuff that what the hell difference does it make? Honestly, let's do it like this. The earth is flat. I believe that. So what difference does that make on, I've been living on this earth for 53 years now. Now all of a sudden it comes out, it's a fact, it's flat. What am I going to do? What am I going to do about it? How am I going to change my life? Am I going to quit my job and suddenly be free of tyranny and debt because the earth is flat all of a sudden? Is it going to change the world, this newfound knowledge? What is this going to change? That's my point. What is it going to change? And the answer is nothing. It's not going to change anything. If the earth is a cube, if the earth, no matter what shape the earth is, we've been living on it our whole lives, and this knowledge that it's not quite what we thought it was, or it's completely different than we thought it was, it's a different shape, it's actually a diamond shape. Okay, I still got to live here. I still got to do the same shit I've always done. So what's the difference? When you start looking into this stuff, try to decide, does it really matter? Does it matter? Now, it matters if our government is trying to usher us into socialism and take away our freedom. That matters. Whether they're doing it on a flat earth or a globe earth doesn't. That doesn't matter at all. And I'll leave you there with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And become a member if you'd like extra content. I'll leave that link down in the description, and you can do that over on the channel page as well. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. I appreciate those of you who do that. Thank you very much. Or you can hop over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll put that link down in the description. If you're interested in Gen X gear, you can head over to Redbubble and check that stuff out. We got some pretty cool stuff. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, backpacks, all kinds of cool stuff over there. Gen X and Gen X Thinks branded stuff. I'll leave that link in the description as well. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing this video on your social media. Thank you very much. That helps out a lot. I sincerely appreciate it. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us in the emails over on the channel page. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.